Well, hello everybody. I hope you can see me. This is absolutely great. So I said to you that I would do 3 days of a masterclass. And so day one today is all about goals. So I'm going to share my screen with you. If you don't know me, I'm one of Bob Proctor's consultants. and yeah, just sharing some value, because I know one of the things that we may be a little bit stuck. We thought, oh, maybe things will change, things will get back to normal, but what's actually happening, we're not 100% sure. So I thought I'll come in here and help you out a little bit. So excuse my little cut on my face. I don't know if you've seen it before, but yes, I had a little fall. It was like a gust of energy and I just went hit the deck. And so lots of funny stories coming from that anyway. So what I'm going to do first of all is to share the screen. And just bear with me. And here we go. So, GPS to success. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. So, there's 3 things that I'll be talking about over the next few days. So, do you know where your results come from? Isn't that the thing that you know what to do, but you don't do it? Why is that? Why is that? Like, we all know how to say to lose weight or to be a nicer person or to love somebody more or even to earn some more money. But we're not doing it. Why is that? So we're just going to investigate some of those things. And the first thing that I want to talk about is, in the rush to return to normal, I want you to use this time to consider which parts of normal are worth rushing back to for you. What is that? What are we trying to get back to? Here's the thing. Did you like your job in the first place? Were you complaining for the last year? I don't like my job. I don't like your job. And maybe you've lost it now. And then you're like now complaining that I don't have a job. I don't have a job. Did you like the relationship that you're in, but you've been complaining? What is it that we're actually rushing back to? I think this is an incredible time for us to rethink things. And some of us are thinking as well, well, what can I do? There's nothing I can do. I'm reliant on my job. But there are different things that you can do. Have you just literally stopped to think, what do I really, really want? I mean, really want? Yeah? What do you really want? Not just what you think you should have, not just what you think you should do, but live a life that you really want. Just think about that for a moment. If you've not done that before, then just take that time now to think about that. Anything come to mind? Write it down. Write it down. I want you to think of a few things though. There's different ways to view the world, okay? So we could have life happens to you. So that means you're just like, so say you're on a football pitch and there's no goals, and then you've got like you're just being kicked, or you're just kicking a ball around, but then are you the football or the footballer? Are you just like going, well, I think I want to do this, and then somebody comes along and tells you something else, and so you jump at what they do? Is it like, well, I can't do anything because of the virus, and I can't do anything because of the economy, and I can't do anything because I haven't got any money, and I can't do anything because nobody in our family have ever done that? Is that how you see the world? Because this is so key. If that's how you view the world, then that's how you're going to live in the world. Yeah, just stop for a moment and think that one. How do you view the world? Are things happening to you? And I know some of you may say, but Sheena, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. I know what's happening. And you know what's really funny is that, whenever you sit down and you talk to people and they tell you stories of, oh, 25 years ago or 20 years ago, this happened to me, just going, here's the thing. We're all going through something. We've all been through something and we're all going to go through something. So it's your choice as to how you go through it. It depends on when your view of the world that you're in more control, then, well, guess what? You'll just have more control. How about that? Wouldn't that be good? So, is life happening by you? Are you using your will? Are you the greatest manifester? Let me tell you something, you're manifesting every day anyway, so never worry about that. Everything that's happening to you is happening because of you. But are you using your will externally? Are you going out there and making things happen? Absolutely making things happen, using your will to change everything out here. Are you? Because that's a bit exhausting. Now, there's laws of the universe, and if you start to play with the laws of the universe, then you'll start to realize that this way is the exhausting way. And it's great, whenever you got loads of energy and you make things happen, you can change things around, and people do that. But why then do they lose it? And then they get it, and then they lose it. Because when we're changing things out here, it's just exhausting. And when you start to really understand the laws of the universe, really live by them, then you'll understand that way is the exhausting way. So the next way is the world happens for you. So what do I mean by that? It's just that everything is for your good. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that the virus has happened to the world because for the world's good, which means it must be good for you? Can you start to see things like that? Like when I fell and, it was just like I was so thankful of that my teeth hadn't fallen out, that I hadn't split my lip open, that I hadn't broken anything. I was so thankful. And I just knew what the reason was for. It was for me to pay attention to something that was going on in my head. And I immediately was just like going, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So life is happening for you. And when you're in that vibe, you're so much calmer, more relaxed, and things start to come to you. Again, it's the laws of the universe that whenever we work with them, that you start to, because here's the thing about the laws of the universe, is that you understand the law of gravity, don't you? A physical law of gravity. Now, you don't understand how it works, but you do know to pay attention to it and to give it respect, don't you? Well, what are the laws of the universe? If you don't know them and you don't give them respect, then you will get kicked around and you will get hurt by them. Okay, so whenever you know that everything is for your good, as in that you can live life as you, so as what you want to be, as the happy person. So why do we want everything in this world anyway? Isn't it just for happiness, peace, and joy? Can you feel happiness, peace, and joy now? Or what would it feel like if you had what you wanted? Well, why don't you just have the happiness, peace now? Than waiting for it. Because there is no tomorrow. There only is right now. Just right now. Now, there's a happiness wheel here. If you've never seen this before, just go onto Google, type it in, happiness wheel, and this should come up. And this is where you can just rate yourself out of 10 in any of these areas and see where it is that you're probably having the most issues, and then look at the people around you. Are they all having the same issues? Because what you'll understand with is if you don't change what's going on at the center, which is you, the very cause, the root cause, if you do not change that, then you'll just work harder and you'll just end up with the same stuff again. So that's going to be for tomorrow, as to why, well, why am I around people who are all this, and I will talk about that tomorrow. So that's tomorrow's interesting stuff, why that is. So where's this information come from? So we all know Bob Proctor. Now, Bob Proctor, has learned all his information. We start off with Andrew Carnegie here on the left. I don't know if it's on your right. And probably the richest man in the world of his time. And he literally asked the next guy, Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill, to go out and write a book. Not to write a book to begin with, to investigate why were people so successful. He didn't want to go away from this world without being able to share these ideas, and that if he could do it, other people could do it. So would you imagine working for 20 years for no money? Well, that's what he did. 20 years for no money. So what he found out, so 25,000 people later, 2,500 of those went into the book Think and Grow Rich. And so they're the most successful principles. So if you want to know them, go there. But here's the other thing. Did you know he also wrote another book, but which was only recently published, well, 2011, after his wife died, because they didn't want it to get out there. So, 70 years this book wasn't written, and it's called Outwitting the Devil. Now, that's such a funny book. You go and read that and you'll find yourself. I know whenever I first started to read the first few pages, I was just like, oh my goodness, here I am, here I am, here I am. So yeah, just have a look at that. And oh, I'm just started something else going on my phone here. Trying to keep an eye on any comments that you're doing, because I'm on Zoom as well. So if you've got any comments, I'm going to keep an eye on them on my phone. So the next guy then, Napoleon Hill, he was one of the first, greatest men of his time in personal development. And that's who Bob Proctor learned from. And he just literally studied everything. And that's then where I've come in and I'm working with Bob Proctor. So it's an absolute privilege to have this information. It is the science behind everything. Now, I've been off and I have studied the quantum physics side of it, the theology side of it, the biology side of it, the chemical side of it. And here's the thing, Bob puts it so eloquently, simply, that if you just do what Bob says, you will get results. Just do what Bob says and you will get results. Okay. But if it was that easy, then we'd all be doing it, wouldn't it? So that's why Bob has us in place as consultants to help you, because he knows that you need somebody to help you along. He knows that if you don't pay to do some work, you will not be paying attention. If we do everything for free, then we take no value on it. And that's why he has us in place, because he has a vision that there's going to be 100,000 of us globally. Right at this moment, there's 2,000 of us. So there's going to be more and more and more of us to help you on this journey. And I can tell you now, that to do the program that Bob has us doing is completely life-changing, completely life-changing. And so that's why we're here, because he knows that people need some help. So just sharing some of this information. I want you to look, first of all, at, results always tell the truth. Always tell the truth. I speak to people sometimes, that literally, no, I've got this sorted, I've got this sorted. And then a year later, I'm like, where are you? And they're still in the same place, because they didn't change the very core. And you go, but I am changing now. I'm studying this and I'm studying that and studying the other. Let me tell you something about me. I studied to master's level in business, coaching, NLP, hypnotherapy, Reiki. I can't even remember the others. And I worked so hard and I went that way. A couple of years ago, lost everything. And so it's just working hard and studying hard and having the information up here. If that was the answer, how many books have you read? Yeah. I had about 700 books at that stage as well. If that was the answer, then I would have been an absolute multi-millionaire then. But I didn't. I did the opposite. And that's what drove me to Bob. I knew that he was the oldest in the industry. I knew that he studied every single day. And I wanted to know what he knew, because I knew it was too simple what he was saying, that I needed to know what was behind it. And so that's what it is. So are your results causing your thinking? So are you looking at your bank statements, or are you looking at your relationship and then thinking from there? Or is your thinking causing your results? Are you thinking it here and feeling it here? And that can cause your results. Neville Goddard is an awesome, awesome author. If you've ever heard of him, then you might want to do something. So what is a barrier to you getting results? Can you think? If you've got any answers in here, then, just let me know. I'm keeping an eye on the comments. I'll just keep the volume down so I don't disrupt it. What is it a barrier of you getting results? We can, whenever we're doing the replay, just put some things in there. You know, what is stopping you? You know what to do, but you're not doing it. Why? What is that? Put that in the comments below. Yeah, just put some comments in there and share some information, and then I'll help to deal with them as we go through. Remember too that all who succeed get off to a bad start and pass through many heartbreaking struggles before they arrive. The turning point in the lives of those who succeed usually come at some moment of crisis through which they are introduced to their other selves. Wow, isn't it? Yes, I've got some here, so fear and self-confidence. Let me go back up there. One of the things that you realize is that when we go through life, okay, we have a situation here, right here, yeah? But then, what's at the back of the situation? Okay, so just think backwards. Okay, because remember, one of the law of all laws is cause and effect. So cause, effect, the situation, the person, whatever it is you're scared of, is an effect. So if we track back, we think of what were our thoughts? Were our thoughts based on lack or abundance? Now track back behind lack and abundance. What do we have? We have fear and love. Yeah, so if we're coming from fear, then we end up with lack, and then that's what causes the effects that are going on there. If we come from love and abundance, then that's what we will get down here. But even just with fear and love, what's behind that? Life itself. Life itself is for continuous growth and expansion. And you know the things that you're afraid of? The best way that I found was to look right at them and go on then. What's the worst that's going to happen? What's the worst? And this will help your self-confidence as well. I mean, the self-confidence comes from knowing who you truly are, and fear can be wiped out by knowing who you truly are. And that's the work that we do here. That's the work that we do with Bob Proctor. You will have such a level of confidence that comes here. It's not an ego confidence. It is a confidence that comes from knowing who you truly are. Now, Bob used to keep saying that to me, and I'm going, but I do know who I am. Oh my goodness, I did not. I did not know who I was. So anything with fear is look straight at it. Look straight at it. Most of the time, it just disappears. But here's another thing that you can do. Here's a little trick for you. It is what it is. When you go there, this is to do with the law of polarity, but if you go to it is what it is, and then go harvest the good, forgive the rest, then focus on what you want and press go. Can you do that? Can you try that? And that will also help with your self-confidence as well. But studying this material over and over and over again is also something that's going to help you. So listen, results. Now, what goals do you actually want? What do you really, really, really want? Now, remember what Bob talks about is everything's on a frequency. So my phone here is on a certain frequency. The Zoom link is on a frequency, the internet's on a frequency, the radio station's on a frequency. Here's the thing, like I'm playing live on your phone or playing live in your living room, and the radio, like if I want to go classic FM, it's playing in my living room. I don't have to go and get the information, do I? I don't have to go and get it. It's here. It's right here. But I'm not tuned into it. I'm not tuned into the radio station. I can't pick up the signals from my phone with my body. I need a certain device for this. So what are you tuned into? So your results are on a certain frequency. So whatever you're getting is on a certain frequency. And so when you think from that frequency, then guess what? You will attract the things from that frequency. Do you know what's really awesome? Whenever you start to listen to Bruce Lipton and you know what cells really are, cells are little antennae. They've got antennae all over them and they're going out there, you know, finding the information. Now, here's the thing. What are you attuned to with your antennae? Are you attuned to your current results? Because then they will bring you more of those current results. The information isn't actually in our bodies. It's going out there and getting it. I think that was one of the most amazing things that I ever learned in my journey, that this was a journey to know myself, so to go through myself, to find myself, to realize that there was no self. But that's a whole other story. So, but what are your antennae on your cells tuned to? So that's your senses. So sight, sound, hearing. Sound, that is hearing, isn't it? You know what I mean? But so say if I said to you, you know, a white Mercedes, whenever you go outside, I want you to look for a white Mercedes. And you go, there's no white Mercedes anywhere. I bet you see them everywhere. So you've just tuned your antennae into finding a white Mercedes. Okay, so that's the idea behind this. So we want to set our goals up here, like right up here. This is where we want them to be. So what do you really want? Not counting the planning it, not how can I get that, nothing like that. I mean your total life vision. Like dream again, like you did when you were a child. There's so much stuff when I was reading and studying theology that, oh, it's about being a child again. We forgot. I mean, I used to remember all the dreaming that I did, and I dreamed and dreamed and dreamed. On my bedroom wall, I used to have this picture of this horse, and I used to go to sleep every night looking at him. Now, whenever I was 33, that when I got my first bonus, the first thing I did was to go and buy a horse. And I remember my ex-partner at the time, and he said, you can't have a horse. And it was like, I don't even understand what that means. So, but when I think of it now, that horse was that picture whenever I was there as a child. I can still see it now. And that's my Maverick, my beautiful, beautiful horse. So that's what's just beautiful wonder, is just dream and vision. And then I think whenever I had children, then I started to, you know, like have a glass of wine and then I'd go to sleep with a glass of wine. I forgot all the dreaming. Does anybody else do that? So when you cut the wine out, especially during the week, guys, then you start to dream again before you go to sleep. It's totally wonderful, and really exercise that and dream before you go to sleep. It's so wonderful. So there's a trick to staying up there, though. There's a trick to staying up there with your goal. And that's something that we can show you as well as consultants. It's just totally amazing. So visualize your dream, like take your annual salary and make it your monthly one. What would you do? Think about that. What would you do? Where would you live? Oh, how would you serve people? What charity would you sponsor, would you do work with? How would you want to spend your days? Do you know, there was one thing, you just write some comments in there, you know, give me some things. How would you want to spend your days? Let me give you an example with me. I remember when I went to Barbados to play polo, and I sat there and I hadn't realized the level of people that I was playing with. And the girl sitting beside me, I said, "So what do you do?" Sheena, not having a clue. And she goes, "I play polo." And I was like, "Ah, wow, well, that's just awesome. Imagine just having to be able to say that. I play polo and that's it. So what do you want? I mean, really, really want. So put your comments in there, share with the world. What would you really love to see? But what I want you to do is to keep dreaming until you smile. Keep dreaming until you get ear to ear smiling. Go on. What would it be? Go on. I mean, anything. It doesn't really matter. Just go for it. Smile ear to ear. And then stop right there. Forget the outside world. What are you feeling? What are you feeling right now? Joy, abundance, peace, happiness, security? If you're not feeling any of those, you didn't go flipping high enough. Go higher until you feel that, because that's what you're searching for, not the stuff on the outside. It's those feelings are what you're serving for. Wow, I love this. You'd go to the Maldives. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, and work from home. I love it. Oh, I'm there with you. I'm there with you right now. That would be totally super. Yeah, you can be, do, have anything. There's the only limits are the ones that you're setting on yourself. So please get yourself up there until you feel the joy, abundance, and everything, and then spend your day in the joy and abundance. And then you go, but Sheena, okay, you need to make a decision to get there. Now I've got a decision article. If you want the decision article, then just message me down here. And the decision article in itself is a game changer. You know, write down there, if you want the decision article, just write in decision article or decision, and then at least I'll know to send you the article, okay? So that's what we've got to do. Then there's a whole special thing about making decisions. And we can talk about that. But what do? We think from here. We go, I want all this. Oh, but look, I haven't got enough money. I want to do all this. Oh, but you know, I can't do this and I can't do that. I've never done that before. Oh no. And we think from our current results. Okay. So one of the things, thank you there for the decision article. One of the things that I realized when, you know, with Peggy McCall and Bob Proctor working with each other and they did the book, you know, make a million look small. Make your goal look small. Don't make it like it's up there. Live in that feeling. So here's the thing. If you're broke, isn't it better to be happy broke or miserable broke? What do you think is going to get you better results in life? What's going to think it's going to make you happy when you go to bed at nighttime? I'd rather be happy broke. I'd rather be happy and wealthy. But, you know, if you had to choose that right now, because you can only work from where you are right now, right here, right now is all you've got. And when you make the best of what you've got, then the best will come to you. Let me say that again. When you make the best of what you've got, the best will come to you. But here's the thing, guys, you can't just do it for like a day, 2 days, 3 days and go, but it didn't work. No, you do it until. There's another law there, the law of gestation, and that's other things that we take you through as well. But here it is, you do it until. Yes, you fall down like a toddler learning how to walk with your emotional body. You know, that's what we're doing here. But if you fall down, you wouldn't expect a toddler and just go, oh, for goodness sake, you silly little baby. You know, that's it. No more walking for you. You may as well just give up now and we crawl our way through lives, although some of us do still crawl our way through lives. But here's the thing. Keep doing it. Keep getting back up. Keep getting back up. It will get easier. I promise you. When I lost everything, I felt like my whole body didn't want to come on the journey. It was, I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm not a good enough mother, daughter, girlfriend, business person. Oh my goodness. My body had all that in it, all of it in it. And I didn't know what else to do except follow what Bob told me. And so literally I just did it and did it and did it every day. Get up at 5 o'clock. You don't have to get up at 5 o'clock, but I chose to. But I would get up and I would put my feet down on the floor and I would make that decision every day that I had to learn to be happy, but I had to make the decision, but my body didn't want to come on the journey. My body was having a whole other story going on, a total other story. So I know that some of you will have that feeling as well, is that where you just go, but I'm trying to be happy, but this body thing here isn't doing it. There is no separation. That's the other thing I realized. But it's about being happy now. And that's what, whenever we work with you, and we work with you over 6 months, oh my goodness, you will need a telescope. Bob says that you will need a telescope to look back on yourself because you all know what to do. I've just had one of my clients actually say about a couple of other clients that she noticed. She just went, my goodness, I can see the difference in people. She says, I've watched them change. I've watched them come in and I've watched their energy. And I've popped away for a bit and come back in again. And people have changed. You can see the change in people's faces. You just relax and enjoy life a lot more. So what is it that you want to do? Yeah. Do you want to continue with your current results? And make no mistake, working harder is not going to get you the results. Working harder in the vibration of your results is only going to get you the same results. Okay? So there's a whole trick to this. So why do we need to come from our vision? So if you haven't seen this before, this is the Shard in London. I used to work here. I'm also a Gallup certified strength consultant, and that's where the offices are. And if you are at the top, then you can see everything. If I was to direct you somewhere, I'd be able to go, oh, you just go there. Can you see it? And then you can work out your pathway to it. Yeah? I was thinking, can you breathe up there? She's on her own. She's breathing. Feels so good to be up there, doesn't it? Feels so good to be up there. But then what do? We come down the bottom. Now imagine if we were all on the bottom there and I'm trying to tell you where to go. Well, you just go right, left, and you can't see it. You cannot see it, can you? That's why we need to come from our vision. Act as if, yeah? Will change everything. But you need to do this work every day. You need accountability. You need that support. Who's going to support you? Okay, so what we need, which is going to be about tomorrow, is a paradigm shift. Yeah? That's what needs to happen, because everything that is happening, you know, the knowing doing gap that I spoke about, okay, that is literally the programming inside. Now we'll talk about paradigms tomorrow. Let's just leave it at programming for now. If you're a Bob Proctor fan, you'll understand what paradigms are, but we'll go through it tomorrow. So the knowing doing gap is your programming inside. So, you know, your programming could come from your great Auntie Betty. Like, you probably got her nose on your face. What else did you get? Yeah, we landed in these bodies. Like, this hardware is already pre-programmed. We've got the DNA. We've got the vibes from those people. Then whenever we were in our mum's body, you know, what were her thoughts about things? Yeah. So all those things are in there in your knowing doing gap. So you know you want this goal, but you keep going back like I did here. Yeah, you keep dropping down there. That's not going to get you the results. It's just working harder to get the same results. Please stop working harder to get the same results. Yeah? It doesn't work. Give yourself time to breathe and start to think about what you really want, and make sure that you write it down. Do you have your goals written down? So here's some things for you to think about. Some takeaway questions. So what do you really want? I mean, really, really want. I love what Bob says is the only prerequisite is that you want it. Now, when I do goal work with clients, it's not goal work, it's vision work. Then it's literally, do you feel that you have to do that? Do you? Like, we've got, you know, one guy's doing an amazing. He's on a hell of a journey from being homeless to, you know, helping people with substance abuse to setting up now his own rehab center. And he's on his way to doing that, you know, through the work of thinking into results, you know, and through that work that he did, that he's doing, he then started to think, well, that looks really hard. And I'm like, I stopped him and I asked him, well, do you feel that you need to do it? That you need to owe somebody, that you need to pay back? And he said, well, yeah, I should do it. And I went, well, that's not a goal. Goals are not shoulds, needs. Yeah, goals are wants. So we can really look at something and go, do you want it? Well, I do want it, but it's really hard to get to. Is that just your perception? Now, lesson 5, we go through all that and we help you with that. But that's, what is it? And so when I was able to help change him, it was just like, yes, it was something he really wanted. He just had a lot of other stuff around it, thinking that he needed to do it. But it's actually expanded beyond his belief as well. Now there's another person who's taken his annual salary and made it his monthly salary. Like, you know, when you first get the message that shows that somebody's done that, that's why I do this work. You know, there's another girl who's literally where she had didn't even know, she was in a network marketing company and she didn't even realize that she'd won the trip because she was just enjoying life. She'd learned to enjoy life so much that actually then her network marketing company came along and went, you won the trip to Florida. Like, oh my goodness. You know, how you can shift your life literally in 6 months is absolutely incredible. Got another guy who literally went from $100,000 contract to $1 million contract in 6 weeks. And, you know, and somebody else who was dealing with contracts for other people, but is now dealing with his own $37 million pound contract. And I think it's £64 million contract as well for his own business. I mean, it's just incredible what can happen. But then there's other people who've completely found peace of mind. Peace of mind is more precious than absolutely anything. So what do you want? What do you really want? Do you want a good relationship? Is that just part of it? Do you want a baby? Oh, and there was the other one, is that one of my clients literally couldn't get pregnant and she was about to do IVF. And I said, you know, just work with me for a bit and just see what's going on here. I just felt that it was just a mind shift that was needed and that the baby was there and it just needed a wonderful, safe home to be in and for her to calm down and relax. Absolutely incredible that she got pregnant within the first month. Now, these are other people's results. You cannot look at other people's results and think that you would get something like that because you are you and you have your truth and your desires and your wants, and it is nothing to do with anybody else. So you see, what we teach you is that we teach you to know. I can't teach you to do. I can teach you how to do, but I can't be the doer for you. And it's only you that closes that gap. But the desire has to be there to do it. The desire, the total desire has to be there to do it. If you haven't got a desire, I can't work with you. But if you want to have a desire, then I can work with you. Because if you go, Sheena, I don't know what I want, but I know I want something, but I don't know what it is, then I can help you. Yeah? So what do you really want? What's the vision of your want? Achieved, look like, feel like? We've been through that before. What does it feel like? And what are the 6 action steps you can take to move towards this today? 6 things that you could do to make your dream a reality. Now, for anybody here who's a business professional, that, you know, when you're leading a team, to have a look at these questions here as well. So what are your team wants? How motivated is your team? Do you set the goals or do they? What action steps does each member have to take each day? What does the vision of the goal achieved look and feel like? And have they got their own personal goal that's all tied in to the team goal as well, to the business goal? So, yes, I want financial freedom. Right now, what does that feel like? What does that feel like to have financial freedom? What's that number for you? What's that life look like for you? Really, really go and investigate that. Really investigate it. And then we'll pop on tomorrow and I'll see you tomorrow about this time again. And we're going to talk about the paradigms. Yeah. So the paradigms to help, that's in that knowing, that doing gap, those are the paradigms in there. And I'm going to talk to you about what's in there. So listen, have an awesome day. And let me know if you got some benefit. You know, what was the best thing that you heard from this presentation today? What is your takeaway point? Tell me down there. Just tell me, you know? So what is it that you're going to do differently from what you've just heard right now? I would really love to know. I really, really, because see, whenever you tell me your vision as well, I get the vision in my head. I just love it whenever I talk goals with other people. I see it. You mean yesterday was about somebody who was on who wanted a hotel. And I had the vision. I could see it for him. Yeah. And then when we talked about it, it was more or less the same vision. I was just like, my goodness, I've actually got the same vision as you. So what is it? Yeah. What do you really, really want? And what are you going to do differently? Just even today, write it down there. Let me know. And yeah, if you want to have a one-to-one with me, I do free 20-minute fact-finding sessions and we can work together. So but I'll see, other than that, I'll see you tomorrow. But leave me some information to work for tomorrow as well. Yeah, if you have any questions, just write them in there and we'll answer them. Yeah, we'll just answer them. It's that easy. Have an awesome day. It's been a privilege to have been part of your life today. And that's it. Okay. See you. Bye-bye.